congrats.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
What's it mean to you that the Eagles make this obviously grand gesture for you and that kind of contract?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Really appreciate Howie and this whole organization, Nick and Coach Clay and Tyler and Joe P and Mr. Lurie, and I mean the list goes on for days. So I'm just so grateful to be here. I've loved this place from the start. I want to be here my whole career, and that's a big step in the right direction. And I just can't wait to keep going.
How important was it to see like the other special seasons bring and they come back as well too, so the guys all together?
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we have such good chemistry. We work really well as a group. Braden helps me out so much. Rick obviously starts everything, and he's kind of the glue to the whole operation. So to have some consistency there and have really good pieces there means a lot.
Does it mean something to you to be one of the highest paid kickers now tied with Justin?
I obviously really appreciate that. I appreciate it. My family appreciates it, and it means a lot. But at the same time, I'm just grateful to be here more than anything, and for them to make a gesture like that, just to tack on 4 more years. This is like I said, this is a place I love, and I'm just excited to be here.
What have you done these past 2 years in particular to kind of elevate yourself to that status?
Mm-hmm. I've just kind of kept it my process. I really focus in on my fundamentals in the off season. I think ever since Tyler Brown's come in here with Coach Clay, he's kind of honed in on some of that stuff with me and helped me develop a plan in the off season. I give myself a little break and let my body recover, and then kind of work myself back up and just striving to be more consistent every day. I feel good about my leg power, my strength. I feel good about all that. So, you know, how much more consistent can we get? And that's kind of been my focus the last few years.
How did you figure out that plan in the offseason?
Kind of just trial and error, really. Trial and error. I felt like maybe early on in my career I was going out in the off seasons and just trying to hit big balls, and I don't know, those are fun to do, obviously, and I kind of honed that back in and said what's really important here, and that's making kicks. So as much as I can do that, as good as I can get at that, the better.
Do you ever kind of like look back to, you know, your here when you first started, and you know, you made obviously the big field goal against the Giants, but I think like Jason Peters might have said something to you beforehand and everything, just kind of like how far you've come since then.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on that first year, it was a whirlwind. I kind of didn't know what I didn't know at the time. I was a young rookie trying to figure it all out. So being around the league and being around veterans like Kelsey and Fletch and all these great Eagles, being around them and just kind of understanding how to be a pro and how to take care of your body, how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your teammates and be a good teammate. I think just being around guys like that has helped.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, those guys deserved it. Super consistent, huge role last year. Braden did a great job. Rick's done a great job ever since I've been here. So just keeping those pieces together helps us a lot. Just be consistent and keep building on that.
You mentioned the
look back
offseason.
and realize that your 61-yarder in 2017 actually more than anything changed the season.
I don't know if I look back on that and say, yeah, that was me that I did that, but it was a big kick in the grand scheme of things, and I'm glad that one went through. Obviously, just for the course of my career too, because I didn't start off so great here either, other than that one kick, and yeah, I think it kind of just rapid fired my career. It gave me some confidence, and I was able to go on the field and swing a little bit more free after that.
You mentioned some of the offseason stuff and maybe taking a more measured approach. Did you talk to other veteran kickers who kind of let you in on some of the shit?
Yeah, I mean, I've gathered information and become friends with some of those guys over the years, and just kind of being able to watch them work, not even necessarily talking to them, but you know, I've kicked with a few of them in the off seasons and just seeing their approach. Friends with Will Lutz, like just being able to kick with some of those guys and watching how they approach things, like, oh, yeah, that's something that I could use.
I don't want to suggest correlation, but your most inconsistent season came after the first contract extension. Have you learned from that experience, and I guess what did you learn from that period?
Oh, I don't know if that had anything to do with it really, but I don't know that I've learned from that or really looked at that and pinpointed it, but I'm just looking to get better this offseason, and I'm glad we're doing it in the offseason, and then we can just brush it off to the side and get to work when we come back to OTAs.
Coming off of one of your best seasons of your career, what areas of your game are you still looking to grow in?
I mean, there's always growth potential. There's always room to get better. There's always room to get more consistent. That's just the nature of our job. It's hard to be perfect. So just kind of striving for perfection every season and every kick. So it's always going to be a one kick at a time mentality, no matter what.
What was your reaction to the shout out in Jason's speech?
It was cool. That speech was emotional. I wasn't sure that he was ever going to start, but I was sitting there at the gym watching with my wife, and took about 10 minutes to get going. But it was fun to, just like always, see how emotional he is about this organization, about this city, and it's guys like that make you want to be around this organization for as long as possible.
And how do you kind of like, you see all the signings that you guys have made like the last few days and stuff, you look around and everything. What do you think about all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting, especially when there's so much dead time, and then you finally get some news rolling in, and there's a lot of it. I mean, Howie's doing a great job putting a great team together, like he always does, and I think getting guys here like Saquon and all these other big names, it speaks volumes to the organization and what Nick's built here, and kind of the culture that he's built, and guys really respect him and what we have going on here. So it's exciting to see, but just can't wait to get those guys in the building and get back to work.
I know you're not scouting edge rushers, but the Memphis is pretty tight.
Yeah.
Is Bryce Huff someone that you know from?
Yeah, I do. I know Bryce a little bit. I think we crossed paths briefly, and then obviously having Kenny here, it's like, it's Bama, Georgia, Memphis. So we're piling them on here.
Coming off speaking of free agency, you've been part of this leadership group now for a while now. How do you guys plan on integrating everybody and make sure everybody's on the same page? Because different personalities.
Yeah.
How you guys plan on doing that?
I think it's really easy when you got guys like this in the building already, and the way Nick really pushes culture, especially right when we get into OTAs and pushing the connecting aspect of it. I mean, he does it so naturally that it's easy for us to just follow him and follow along. And having guys like BG back really helps, because he'll connect the whole group. It's not just a defensive thing for him. So we got a lot of great leaders and a lot of guys coming up and kind of taking those reins, and it's a total team effort, but it's exciting to see all these guys added.
Do you ever think about how your career might be different had the Eagles poached you off of Cincinnati's practice? I don't recall who beat you out for that kicker job.
Randy Bullock.
But, was it okay? But do you think how your career might have been different if, there hadn't been an injury here and hadn't wound up somewhere else, Cincinnati, wherever?
Yeah. It's crazy. I try not to think too much about it. I think at the end of my career, I might a little bit more, but I'm certainly grateful to be here. Thankful for Cincinnati to give me the opportunity in the first place, but obviously thankful to be in Philadelphia. I've just really loved this city and embraced it since I've been here.
Thank you, more.
There's always so much turnover in the NFL from year to year, but you mentioned Tyler a little bit before, and Joe P, and obviously Michael.
Mm-hmm.
It's been turnover in the coaching staff, but not for you guys in special teams. How important is that for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's crucial. You see all over the league the turnover in the specialist community, and it's hard to get an operation down. It's hard to get consistency and just have the chemistry that we've built. So as long as you can keep three guys together, the better. And in my opinion, that'll only help us going forward.
Braden got here later in the season. How did you guys go about building that cohesiveness?
Yeah, we had known each other previously a little bit, just from working together in the off seasons and stuff. So we had a little bit of familiarity, but he came in and he's such a good holder and just such a natural person to be around. So just the personality was easy to get along with and get better with. And then he's an outstanding holder. So you're not going to hear any complaints from me. He's saved us a couple times.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna
What's going on?
Hi, Matt. Why Philly?
The opportunity to join this organization. It's an organization I've always admired from afar. The players, the coaches, the fan base. It's somewhere that's close to home for me. I went to college at Temple, loved it there, and love this city. So I'm excited to be back.
Is it kind of a full circle moment to now be a professional in the same stadium that you played in college?
Yeah, certainly. Driving past the link yesterday, I had goosebumps. So excited to be home.
What sense do you have of the role you'll take here?
Yeah, talking with Coach Stoutland, I'm here to compete. Position flexibility is a huge deal to him. I've played at a couple different spots in the NFL, so I don't know exactly what it'll look like yet, but I'm here to compete and help the team win.
Are you more comfortable as a center, as a guard? Is there a preference there?
No preference really. I mean, I played center in college, played center a little bit in the league, played some guard in the league. And I feel like all the interior three, you could kind of move them interchangeably, and you need to be able to do that to stick around the NFL. So that's something I'm willing to do and want to do.
Does having the knowledge of both positions like help you at each?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you cross train at different positions, you definitely gain a more holistic understanding of the offense. And whether that's you're playing center and then you're playing guard, you know what the center is processing in his head, or the other way around. It's certainly really helpful.
Matt, when you think back to your Temple days, I know Coach Drayton's new, but the offensive line coach is still there, same. How much of an impact did your time at Temple have in you reaching this level now?
Yeah, that's meant, absolutely everything to me. I had a really enjoyable 4 years at Temple. We did a lot of winning. We had excellent coaches throughout my time there. I was recruited by Chris Wiesahen, who's back there at Temple now, and played for him. He was on staff for 3 of the years, but played for him for 2 of them. And we had incredible people there, coaches, players, administrators, and we kind of pumped out some pros over the last few years. So it's been great.
How are you health-wise right now?
I'm in a great spot. I had surgery prior to last season and spent the year on injured reserve, but I'm fully healthy now. I'll be ready to roll this spring, and I'm excited to go compete.
Did you spend time at all with staff in the pre-draft process?
I did, yeah. So that was it was kind of weird. It feels like 4 years went by really quick, but it was good to circle back with him. I'd spent a lot of time, combine and all that stuff, getting to know him. So I was excited to see him again.
What were your impressions then, and did they match up to today, I guess?
Yeah, it feels like he picked up right where he left off. He's a guy who the players clearly love, who's highly regarded, and I'm excited to play for him.
Do you have any friends in the team?
Really the Temple guys, Hassan and Sean Bradley. So those are guys who I played with for a few years at Temple, and I'm excited to see again.
Matt, when you were at Temple, was one of your heroes Jason Kelsey?
Yeah, I think any offensive lineman would certainly strive to have the level of production he did, to mean what he meant to his team and the city. So he's definitely somebody I looked up to.
It seemed based on the reports that you were in line to be the starting guard last year before the injury. How did that affect you? I guess getting hurt in a contract year like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough mental hurdle, but it's a good exercise in persistence, and it's something that I've had to develop throughout my time in the NFL. And I think I'm better for it. I know how to persist and work through those hurdles, and so that's something I always have in my back pocket.
Anything else? Good. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
back again. Shady's back.
Yeah. Welcome back.
How's it feel to be back, man?
Like I never left. I feel great. Anybody need? What's that? Join family time, rehab, get to know myself a little bit more, so I can come back and be better than I was.
What was different this time? What did the Eagles do to make you feel wanted, to make you want to come back?
Didn't really do nothing different. You know, we just had to figure out some things between my side and their side. I want to be here, so started something here, started legacy here. I want to finish it here, so why not? You know, hop back on the train and get back to where we was at 2 years ago.
What did it take from the way things happened last year to this year ending up being back?
Take your feelings out of it and just willing to be a man about certain things, you know, and accept certain things as a man. So I think right now coming back was like, how can I say, a relief. Because I know I'm familiar with the people here, with the place, and I'm comfortable, if that makes sense. So the difference from last year and this year is we both saw eye to eye, if that makes sense.
At what point did you start thinking about this being a possibility?
I've been thinking about it. You just gotta let the time handle it. You can't handle it yourself. That makes sense.
From afar, did you get the sense that they missed you last year?
I was worried about the team I was on last year. I couldn't worry about what's going on here. You know, there's a lot of things that happened from last year to this year. I just had to focus on my job and what I had to do to get myself better as a person, so I could be in this position and be back.
What was last year like for you? I know you had the injury, kind of kept you out. I mean, was that as tough a season?
It was fun for me. I learned myself. I figured out, you know, ball isn't always about you. It's about 50 other guys out there, the front office. So getting hurt and taking a step back and not being the focal point made me realize I'm part of something better and greater. I want to be a part of something greater and better than the one I'm at, if that makes sense. I want to be able to take that next step. And I think I made the right decision.
Yeah, so when you did come back, you felt like you were...
I felt like I was more, how can I say, aware of what I was capable of, such as like my talking, my play, my actions off the field. I'm just more so like I'm an impact. I want to be a positive impact on and off the field. That makes sense.
It's a new coordinator, some different personnel. Are you expecting the same role that you had before? Are you expecting it to look different?
My role is to be a great teammate, help us win games, and get us back to the Super Bowl. I think there's no in between. You know what they expect or what your role is. Your role is just be a great teammate and let the chips fall in, and you just do your job.
What does it do when you're so close 2 years in a row to winning it all? What does it do to your mindset?
It make you go a little bit harder because a lot of people don't get to do back-to-back, especially leaving, going to another team that I haven't even seen. It helps you grow up, understand that a lot of young guys and a lot of older guys haven't even got that chance to go back-to-back conference championships. So I think for me, I learned a lot playing with the guys that got to championship, Super Bowl, and for guys that I went to championship with last year, and made me realize like everybody's a part of it and everybody's important. And I think I didn't really grasp the meaning of that when I was here at first. So mindset changed.
You mentioned rehabbing. Did you feel 100% when you were able to come back for week 18, or is that still a problem?
I turned a 295-day injury into 90. They ruled me out. So you tell me.
How was free agency different this time than a year ago?
Take your feelings out of it. I got enough film and got enough to back me up. I know who I am, so you don't really have to talk about who you are. When teams just know, and I think it ain't about teams, certain teams, and I think this team and I know what I'm capable of. So the best spot for me. I love being here. Love everything about this place, and I'm ready to keep going.
What compelled you to apologize to fans?
I'm obnoxious. I thought it was a compliment, to be honest with you. So I mean, all jokes aside, It wasn't, I was just in my feelings. You know, you want to be somewhere so bad to the point where you can't control certain things. So certain things was said, but it was no meaning to it. I mean, I'm back. So I guess we all happy. Family reunion, huh?
No, having seen how many yards and passing touchdowns they gave up last season as a team, does that surprise you that knowing the guys who were back there in that secondary?
Yet again, I wasn't focused on or what they was giving up. I had a team to focus on myself. So my job now is just to be a great teammate and prevent from apparently what happened last year. That's not my job to go back into last year. My job is this year and help win games this year. So what happened is the past, water on the bridge, same group of guys that go out and compete and have fun.
Were any guys on this team kind of like texting you or anything saying, come back and we want you?
I don't think it was no players. I think you could sense it through the fans. I just let God and I let everybody the time handle it. I ain't really gonna talk to nobody. I think free agency this year was more so phone off, focus on me, head down, keep grinding, and wait for that call.
CJ, what do you know about Vic Fangio's scheme?
It's legit. I'm ready to ball. All the guys I've been here before, and just ready to take the next step as a player and go win a championship.
Are you going to still rock the 23?
My favorite player is from here. I think tapping into a different mentality is like, it's something that people will be great to see this year. I'm on my Kobe mode right now, so I'm coming out with the Mamba, coming out with the 8.
Do a couple more.
A part of what makes you is like the edge that you play with. Is that something that you still want to deliver at this stage of your career?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I'm not done. I'm only, 6 years in? I'm just getting started.
I just mean in terms of like you talk about maturity.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that part of it. Is that fair to say?
It's gonna every year you have to mature. Like, I don't think you can be too mature for this game. So I think every year you learn and your maturity just grows 1% better every day or 1% every year. So I think right now for me is just understanding why am I here? And that's not questioning, coach. It's just like understanding my role. What can I do to impact and help the young guys? Really, this team young, got a lot of ball in us. So I'm ready to take some of this maturity level and pass it on to some of the guys now that's below me.
Since you signed, have you heard from anybody? Or anybody?
Whole team. We're just happy to get the energy back. I'm ready to turn the lights on back in the building again, if that makes sense.
What about Kobe? What is it about Kobe?
Mamba mentality. I'm here to win. I'm not here to lose. I'm not here to be mediocre. I demand excellence. So the thing about Kobe that makes him so great is he doesn't settle. He demands not every single of his teammates. And I think watching them play, growing up watching them play, I think you can model them after football, basketball, soccer. Just have the mentality to go out there and win and kill in a good way.
The last time you stood up here or sat up here after the trade, you spoke about your excitement of playing safety.
Yeah.
After spending a lot of time at nickel with the Saints. Is that still how you view it, or do you, I guess, value that versatility that you have?
I think it's my time to be cocky. It's my time to be cocky. I still one of the best young safeties in the league, so I ain't worried about, I'm ready to keep it going.
Good. All right.
That's it.
Thank you. Congratulations.